Alright guys, Epic here, and in today's video I want to show you my Predator's Mark build. This is the best build that I've been able to conjure up using the gear that I have. It's not min-maxed, but it's pretty good. It is pretty good. I do want to apologise actually guys, if you do hear fireworks, that's because my neighbours are being twats. And yeah, let's start the video here guys. So let's start off with just the basic numbers, to be honest. The DPS 240, toughness 360, and skill power 97,000. Now the main weapon at the moment I'm using is the Black Market AK-74. Now the reason I'm using this particular weapon is because at the moment I am focusing on PVE, and this is the best PVE weapon that I have. Not sure if it's the best PVE weapon in the game. You know, some people, it depends on the person or who you are. But for me, I love it. It drops the enemies so quickly. It's got a really nice base damage of 19.4k, 21% enemy armor damage, which, you know, isn't the top end, but it's also not the bottom end. And the roll on this is responsive, brutal, and fierce. A nice roll, to be honest, because I do get up in the face of these bitches and tear them up. So responsive works really well. Brutal's really good because the AK-74 doesn't have that much recoil, to be honest, and it's quite easy to control. And lastly, fierce in the third slot is great. Normally I wouldn't be able to run this because my electronics aren't high enough. It's normally around 3,000 you have to get. But fierce is a very good talent on an assault rifle because it increases your critical hit chance massive, by 5%, which, you know, is important. Critical hit chance is very important, guys. Very, very important. And you should be trying to get it on pretty much any of the mods to your weapons. So let's start off with the mods to the let's not start with the mods to the weapons. Let's start off with the actual Predator's Mark gear, because that's, you know, that's what this video is about mainly. So my vest here, my Predator's Mark vest, as you can see, I've got a stamina of 1384. Now that's not the base stamina, that does take into account both my mods here. So I've got two mods, stamina mods, both with armor, as you can see. And guys, I'm sure you've heard it from all the other Division YouTubers out there like SkillUp and Lightbutter and Wids. You need to be running armor on your mods. You need to have armor because armor is so important in this game right now. You need to have it. You also need to have it in your major attribute. As you can see here, 1,201 armor as my major attribute. I've also got 9.5 exotic damage resilience. Again, in my opinion, you have to have exotic damage resilience in this game, both for PvE and PvP. Grenades are quite what's the word? They're quite damaging, to be fair, in PvE and PvP, and they should be because, you know, there's a massive red spot that tells you there's a grenade coming, so you do have time to roll away. They should be powerful in my opinion, but this really just helps negate the damage that you might get. The only change that I would like to see on this particular piece of gear is obviously higher armor, but is the minor attribute. I believe you can roll ammo capacity on this, and I don't have it. My ammo capacity for this particular build is fucking shit, but you know, that's the sacrifices you make to have a good set. So moving on to the mask here, as you can see, I'm running this in firearms 1195. I'm running a firearms mod with armor. Again, you need to have armor. The major attribute is health 3836. Unfortunately, I can't roll that major attribute away for something different because I'd already re-rolled it from electronics to firearms in the first place. So I am looking for a better Predator's Mark mask, but the health is nice to have at the moment. Moving on to my knee pads, as you can see, the armor on this is 2440 plus the armor on the major attribute of 1127 gives you 2697 armor. Pretty good knee pads in my opinion. The major gripe that I've got with these knee pads is the base stamina of 950. I would have liked to have seen that more closer to the 1008 mark, you know, the high end, but unfortunately that's not going to happen, and I've already rolled it out, so I can't change that. I think I changed the major attribute from enemy armor damage to armor, or something, I can't remember. No, it was something else to armor. As you can see, the minor attribute on this piece of gear is enemy armor damage, which again is very important in PvE. You need to be rolling enemy armor damage, guys, if you don't have it. And here, prototype firearms mod, you're looking at 257 armor. And performance mod, 2% pulse critical hit chance. Very important for me because I am running pulse. I know a lot of people aren't, from what I can tell, running pulse too much, but I still love it. And these mods really do help my pulse quite a bit. It increases my DPS and my hit chance a lot. And as I said, guys, hit chance in this game is very, very important. Let's move on to the holster that makes up the Predator's Mark 4 piece here. This is the major weakness, in my opinion, for this set. The armor roll's not too great, and the overall rolls on firearms, stamina, and electronics are not too great. I would have liked to have seen all of them a lot closer to the 1008 mark. I think I have some better ones here which aren't, like for example this. I don't care about electronics, so that would have been nicer, that roll on my Predator's Mark gear or something like that, for example. But oh well, that's what we got for now, and that makes up the 4-piece, guys. If you are unaware of what the 4-piece is, which I assume you're not, because I don't know why you'd be watching the video otherwise, it is hit 10 shots without switching target to make the target bleed for 50% of damage already done by those bullets. This is very good in both PVE and PvP, guys. I'll give you an example. PVE, if you're coming up against one of those fucking shield fucks who sit behind their shields and shoot over the top of it, you can normally just get an angle, snipe them 10 times in the head, and they're going to be taking 100k DPS bleed every second. It does a lot of damage, guys, really it does. And as you can see from the other bonuses on there, it all adds to the overall DPS of your character. Now, let's move on to the two high ends. High ends. Let's start with the gloves here. So, as you can see, I'm running Savage Gloves. Savage Gloves are still OP in this game. You need them. You need hit chance. Very, very important, guys. The stamina roll on this, 1000. Pretty happy with that. Near the top end. And as you can see, major attributes. We have 5.5% critical hit chance. Assault rifle damage of 1065, which I believe is the highest you can get on gloves. And health on kill. This particular piece alone gives me 12.5% critical hit chance. The DPS for these, this is by far the best DPS you can get in the game, guys. There's nothing that competes with Savage Gloves with critical hit chance. Nothing. Health on kill, unfortunately, it's the only piece of armor that I have that gives me health on kill. What can you do? I don't run solo in PvE. I just matchmake, so it's not really that needed. And PvP, not that important, really, to be honest. So there you go, guys. Probably the best piece of gear that I have, to be honest. And lastly, probably the biggest weakness I have along with the holster in the set here. I'm running this Spec Ops pack with Specialize, which adds 200% of firearms and stamina to skill power. Very important. It brings the skill power up massively. It just gives you all your abilities back much quicker, which is great. The only problem I got with this is I had to roll this out from electronics to firearms, and as you can see I got a very good firearm roll of 1002, but now I can't roll out the major attribute on this of skill power to armor, so unfortunately this has cut my armor quite a bit and gave me 9000 skill power. And at the end of the day, guys, I'd much rather have the armor over the skill power. Plus, the minor attribute on this is bleed resistance. I think you can get ammo capacity on this as well. Could be wrong about that. So it'd have been nice to get ammo capacity. So this does need to be changed. As I said, this isn't a min-max build here, guys. Mods wise, I'm running armor, stamina mod. I've got pulse duration. As you can see, I'm on performance and pulse critical hit damage. So for my 3 mods that I have pulse critical hit chance, pulse duration, and critical hit damage. Perfect for my pulse. Absolutely perfect. I don't think actually, guys, I showed you the mod on this one. Smart cover damage resilience. This is the only one that doesn't have pulse on it. Oh well. So let's actually move on to the weapons here, guys. I know I talked about at the start and how good they were, but let's just go over the mods and what how I think you should mod this and what my mods are currently. So let's get the mag here. We're looking at 100% mag size, 3% critical hit chance, and rate of fire. Rate of fire is quite good on the AK-74 simply because it's the stability on the weapon's pretty good, so you can control it, and it's got fairly low RPM anyway, 635. Critical hit chance, as I said, guys, you have to get it. Mag size, 100%. Wish it could have been higher. I've got other ones here with higher mags, but they just don't have hit chance on them, so I'm just not using it. At the end of the day, if you've got lower hit chance, there's no point in having critical hit damage. So, yeah, pretty happy with that magazine, although I am looking for a much better one. Let's go to the grip. Critical hit damage, reload speed, and stability. Stability is important. Reload speed is whatever. Critical hit damage actually on this is really important, simply because, and I'll show you in a minute, my critical hit chance on this isn't too bad, actually. It isn't too bad at all, so the critical damage is needed. Let's move on to the vent break here, muzzle, 16% critical hit damage. crit hit chance and headshot damage. You're looking at a god roll break there, guys, or muzzle, whatever you want to call it. God roll, to be honest. Critical hit damage, chance, and headshot damage. Unbelievable. The only way this could have been made better is by having higher rolls or higher percentages on those particular rolls. Absolutely love that. And then moving on to the sight. This is where you want to get the majority of your critical hit chance, guys, if you haven't got it. 7.5% critical hit chance, 4% hit optimal range, and then you've got your headshot damage on there. So, you know, optimal range is very important on a assault rifle because, you know, you're going to be using the weapon at medium range, to be honest. Critical hit chance speaks for itself, and headshot damage is, again, very important. I don't have anything here which competes with that, to be honest. So that's what I've got on my AK-74 there. Moving on to my MK here, let's just look at the mods I've got on this. This isn't the best weapon in the world, simply because if you look at the roll on this one, balance, not that great. Vicious, can be okay. Skilled, no, not particularly happy with that. So let's just look at the mods on this quickly. As you can see, mag size, hit damage, and reload speed. Not the best mag for this. Again, I will be still looking for critical hit chance. I think this may be on my Lover. Yeah, on my Lover at the moment. Probably should swap that over, to be honest. I may do that. Hit damage, reload speed, and accuracy again. Whatever. I would have liked to have seen stability more on this MK because it does have a lot of not stability issues, but it's not hard to handle as long as you take your time. But still, stability is good. Hit damage is okay, I guess. Would have looked to have a nicer one or a higher one, to be honest. And lastly, headshot damage, very important on the muzzle, or suppressor on this one. Optimal range and hit damage, great. That's a really good suppressor, guys. If you're looking for on a sniper, headshot damage is very important. Range is obviously very important, and hit damage is, again, good if you've got the chance on the particular weapon. Which, you know, it's not a low chance because, again, I've got my Savage gloves with the hit chance on, so it's still not bad. And if I'm running pulse and it's up quite a lot with my skill power, then I can use it quite a bit. And my VX1 scope 12 times, headshot damage, critical hit damage, and stability. You know, pretty good roll there for a scope. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's just look at my character here, guys. If you're looking at weapons, weapon damage, see, critical hit chance is 15.5%, but that's on my sniper. So if I just go on to the AK-74 here, 24% critical hit chance, which is pretty good, to be honest. Hit damage 58. You see what I mean? Like, I've got good hit chance, but my hit damage is fairly low, so I'm trying to find ways to actually bring that up without reducing the chance, and I'm sure we'll get there. Headshot damage 97%. Again, wish that could have been a lot higher, but I prefer to spec into chance than anything else, to be honest. And then if we just go down to some other attributes here, enemy armor damage 32%, so not too shabby. Let's look at my max health, 164,000. To be honest, guys, I have no idea what is, you know, top-end toughness or health at the moment, to be honest. I've not really seen much other people's builds, but I think that's pretty good. Yeah. If you're looking at my armor mitigation, around 55 again. With the backpack, it could have been a lot higher. And again, with the holster, it could have been a lot higher. I'd probably be looking around 60% if I had those two, which would be great. And I will be looking for a specialized backpack with armor. And just get the reduce of the skill power a little bit. And that's really it, to be honest, guys. The only other things that I'm running on abilities, I'm running Pulse. As you can see here, critical hit chance goes up to 16.3%. Plus my critical hit chance already, you're looking at around 40% critical hit chance, very high. And then I'm using the booster shot. The reason I'm running booster shot, guys, is because you don't need, well, I don't need overheal. My toughness is fairly good, my mitigation's okay, so I just use the booster shot, and I don't even use it like a heal. I use it as extra damage, and it works really, really well. Apart from that, guys, that is everything. If you want to leave a comment below on what build you're currently running, then please do. Predator's Mark is probably one of the best builds in the game right now. You could obviously mix it with Banshee and Alpha Bridge. They are the top tier ones at the moment. So let me know what you guys think of my build in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.